Hi everyone, I'm Barry from Tondoon Botanic Gardens. We want to talk about the importance of herbariums because a lot of people don't know what they are and what the real function of herbariums is. So herbariums for us is really like the dictionaries of the plant kingdom, and they provide so much information for us in taxonomy. They really are the base of nomenclature, and that's where we ID plants. And they also provide so much reference for us because of some herbariums in Europe that's hundreds of years old, give us so much heritage around how plants has actually changed over hundreds of years with human population. Here at Tondoon, we have our own Norm Gibson herbarium. It houses approximately 4,000 specimens. Now, a herbarium specimen is a pressed, dried specimen of a plant. So generally, when a specimen is actually pressed on a piece of paper like this one here, what will you expect to see? You'll see the botanical name of the plant at the top. You'll see the family that species actually belongs to. You'll see the locality of where that plant was actually collected. You'll see the date of collection. You'll see the person that actually collected that specimen. And then you'll see a bit of information on the habitat of where that plant was actually growing on the day of collection. In Tondoon here, we have a brilliant group of volunteers that helps us. And without them, this herbarium here would not have been ever. They are the lifeblood of our herbarium. They do critical work for us every week, every Thursday, basically a half a day. They come, they do work on specimens, they keep the names up to date because obviously, like everything, plant names also change from time to time. They've helped us create a database. They work with us in our living collection as well, specifically in our nursery side of things, to ensure the accuracy of our data as far as all of our plants is concerned at the gardens.
Very valuable collection. It's been started about in the early 1980s, and we keep all our specimens catalogued in these boxes in alphabetical order of their families, genus and species. We've got about 4,000 plus specimens in here now. This room's been specially built to be as fire retardant as we can possibly get here because this collection is just irreplaceable. It's been collected from tops of mountains and all sorts of places over the last, in some places the plants don't even grow there anymore where we first got them. So it's really important to protect them. Another thing we've got to protect them from is insects, especially paper bugs. So they're on special paper too that's acid-free so that the paper itself doesn't cause any deterioration. But yeah, we can't bring any paper in here without it being going through the freezer for a week before it comes in. So we've got to be really careful to keep that biosecurity and keep a very low temperature here in the air conditioning as well. So to help protect against paper bugs, we cycle specimens through the freezer. So every week we put as many specimens as we can fit in the freezer here, and then we change them over weekly so that that kills any bugs that might be in the specimens.
It's very important that you have accurate records and they're recorded in a very precise manner because many of our specimens are forwarded onto the Queensland Herbarium where they'll be kept forever and a day. We've entered into an agreement with the Queensland Herbarium, a data sharing agreement, where they are happy and provide us with up-to-date taxonomic information on a regular basis, so that when we're entering a plant into our system, we actually are using the Queensland Herbarium taxonomic information, which is up-to-date. And from time to time, when that taxonomic information is updated, we get the updates from them and we can automatically update our systems here. That's a tremendous advantage and it's quite a significant achievement, particularly for a regional botanic gardens. We're the only botanic gardens in Queensland that has such an arrangement with the Queensland Herbarium. So you can zoom in and there's the plants. So each of those dots represents a plant. Now as you zoom in closer, the plant name will come up. So that's the plant name, and that's the path. That's the path you would be walking along. In the same information is available on an iPad. You can zoom in similarly on an iPad or an iPhone or an Android. Any smart device you've got out in the field.
With the herbarium volunteers, we do go on these field trips, and on a number of occasions we've actually discovered new plant species, new to science. So Norm Gibson, who the herbarium was named after, he discovered quite a few, because when he started collecting back in the 80s, say, there hadn't been a lot of botanical surveys done in this area. And Brent Braddock, the last curator, he discovered quite a few as well, and I've discovered a couple.
I hope that you've now learned a bit more about herbariums and what their function is for us here in Botanic Gardens, but also for our wider community and indeed our future generations to come. If you want to actually volunteer at Tondoon, feel free to make contact with us at Tondoon and come and visit the herbarium and actually see the work that our volunteers do. See you soon at Tondoon.